right, Jesus Christ.
People are.
You must be one of those people who went on the internet. I was driving in here today from home, and they said there's a spike in internet searches for beer viruses. Half of Americans think that the coronavirus has something to do with beer. You idiots. You were probably on there doing beer virus searches. Now that you should be insulted though. Beer viruses, idiots. Beer viruses. How many people live on Long Island? Did we go through this? See, I have to deal with people like this. How many people live on Long Island? Nobody? Where do you live?
Queens.
Queens. You see, you're in college here, and I have to deal with you, and you don't even know where you are. Do you realize that in most places, this would get you committed to a mental institution? Are we on Long Island right here?
Erie.
Huh?
Erie, we are on the island. Right?
This is Long Island?
This is Queens, but it's part of the island of New York, I guess.
This is the island of New York?
Well, 5 boroughs are in an island, so.
You know, I actually had a guy come in here with a jacket on, and he had a flag on the back. I said, I'm not familiar with that flag. He said, this is the African flag. I said, there's no such thing as an African flag. Africa is not a country. He says, yes, it is. I said, what are you, an idiot? Africa is a continent, it's not a country. I said, go get your money back. Idiot. Long Island goes from Montauk Point to the East River. Do you know where the East River is? Did you ever go to New York City? Have you've been to New York City? Did you drive through the Queens Midtown Tunnel?
Oh, yeah.
The tunnel goes under what?
I'm assuming the East River.
There you go. So if you want to go to Manhattan, you have to go under the East River or over it. If you go over it, what bridge would you take?
Manhattan Bridge.
The 59th Street, the Manhattan Bridge.
I don't
What the
drive-
hell's a
I don't
Manhattan?
drive over bridges.
There's no such thing as a Manhattan Bridge, is there?
No.
There's the Williamsburg Bridge.
Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan.
George Washington Bridge goes over the Hudson River.
To New Jersey.
You guys live here. I don't live in New York. I mean, I lived in Nassau County. Long Island is made up of 4 counties. You live here, and I have to tell you about this. Long Island's made up of 4 counties: Suffolk County, Nassau County, Queens County, and Kings County. Kings County is where we have Brooklyn. Queens County is where we have Queens. So New York City is made up of 2 counties of Long Island, Queens County and Kings County. It's made up of 2 islands. What are those islands?
Staten Island and
Staten Island and
Manhattan.
Manhattan Island, and part of the mainland. What is the mainland? Oh, the Bronx, right? So it's made up part of the mainland, Bronx, 2 islands, Staten Island and Manhattan Island, and 2 counties that belong to Long Island, which are what? Queens County and
Kings County.
Kings County. And you come to college here and I have to deal with you, and you don't even know where you are? And you're doing beer searches? And you're worried about fat? I have to deal with you? Like the brightest bulb in the pack. Sharpest tool in the shed. Why are you looking like that? You look like you've just been insulted. If you don't have a sense of humor, you need to join the French Foreign Legion. French Foreign Legion. Let's take roll here. You guys are too sensitive. You too thin skin. Get a life. If you don't have a sense of humor, if you can't calm down and figure out where you are and say, hey, you know what? This is pretty funny. I really need to maybe calm down and learn a few things. Take myself a little less seriously. Okay, let's see who's here. Brecca?
Here. Yeah, here.
Public health. That's you? Welcome. Welcome. Stella. Wasn't she in the streetcar named Desire? Marlon Brando? Stella. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
You did?
I
It was Stella, right? Stella. That was a good thing. Streetcar named Desire. Marlon Brando. Arbin? No Arbin? Absent. I love absences. Stephanie?
Here.
Right. Natoya?
Here.
Anisha?
Inesha.
You're Anisha.
Inesha.
You are what I call you, as long as you know it's you. Okay? The only time it has to be pronounced correctly is when your mother calls you.
No.
I am
please call
not
me-
required to pronounce your name correctly. So says God and me.
Please call me E if you can't say my name.
E?
E, like the letter.
E?
E.
You are now E.
Thanks.
Let's hope you don't get an F-E.
Let's hope.
You are now E. I'm crossing out your God-given name, and you have now E. Like the E Street Band. Who heads the E Street Band? Bruce Springsteen. What's that? You don't like white people?
I'm not gonna answer that question.
Why not? I like white people.
That's cool.
White people are okay, right? You notice all the leading Democrat contenders are all white people? They started out with all these colored people, now they've all got white people.
Yeah, white people are awesome except that whole, slavery thing a few hundred years.
They're what? Damn. Dana? I'm Dana. Life. Arnold? Arnold was a pig, wasn't he? And Green, what is that? The TV thing? Arnold was a pig, right? What was that TV show?
Hey, Arnold.
Green Acres. Green Acres. He was a pig, right? He was a pig. At least you're not a pig. He's a pig. He's white. Sorry, Arnold.
What is snort?
Yalitza?
Here.
Where are you?
Over here.
Nice seeing you. Welcome. There's got too many names here. Claudine? Is that the name of choice?
Yes.
Sarah Good. That's a French name. Did you know that?
Yes.
Sarah Good. You ever been to France?
No.
I hate France. Shanpreet. Sounds so Indian.
Yeah.
Damn, so good. Jiyun? No Jiyun? J-I-E-U-N? Not here? Did I tell you I love absences? Mamadou?
You were close. Right ahead.
Close?
Yeah.
Close only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes.
Huh?
Close only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes.
Okay. Never heard that saying, but
You never heard that before?
no.
Now you have. Now your life is almost complete.
Almost. All I need is
Navelli? Nadel.
Nayeli.
Huh?
Nayeli.
Nayeli? Oh, that's a Y, I'm sorry. It didn't print the bottom of the Y. Gabriella?
Here.
Very good. Marie? No Marie? I love absences. Mariana? Very good. Kiana? No Kiana? Prasad? I'm here. Estefani?
Here.
Very good. You got so many names. Why is that? You get paid by the letter? Stefani, Nicole, Pinata, Hernandez. I remember I took my son to some something of the something. This guy says, "My name is Rosando Archavez Pancho." You killed my father, prepared to die. By the time he got his name out, it was sort of like the guy ran away. My name is Rosando Archavez Pancho. I killed my father, prepared to die. I might have to get that. Something over here. Abigail.
Here.
I love that name, Abigail. It's a very old tradition. Harris Lady? Harris Lady?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
This lady.
Harris Lady. There we go. Pelwinda? Ashley?
Here.
I have a niece named Ashley. I hate her. You, on the other hand, I love. Gisele? Gisele?
Chelsea.
Jealousy?
Chelsea.
Like jealousy, like with a
Yeah,
J?
everyone wants to.
Jealousy. It's cool. And jelly? Ninjelly. Not here? Ninjelly Yee? Absent. Is that Fanny? Zane? F-A-N-N-E? Not here? Anybody here whose name I didn't call? 2 of you? 3 of you? How is that possible? Who are you? Did I call your name last time?
Lily, N-I-N-G.
Did I call your name on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't call your name now, it's the same list.
Nah, Tuesday we broke down.
call
Tuesday
your
we
name
broke down.
Tuesday.
Tuesday
Oh,
we broke-
Tuesday you signed your name on it.
Yeah.
So I didn't call your name Tuesday.
Nah.
So why'd you say yes? I need to go to Portland and get a gummy bear. I have to go visit my son. So who are you?
Lily, N-I-N-G.
Who?
Lily.
Lee.
Yeah. N-I-N-G-L-I.
L-E.
L-I.
N.
And
What are you telling me her name when you're spelling it different from her?
That's what I heard. She didn't say E, she said L-I. But my bad, it's her name, you got it. It's her name.
The last name is Y-E. Last name Y-E.
N-Y-E.
No.
Okay. I printed this out on Tuesday. How come your name's not on here? You want to find your name on here? Come look. And where's the other person? Is there 2 people? What's your name?
Alyssa.
No, I mean you got a last name too? What? Y-E. That's all she's got. Y-E. Where'd you get L? Where'd you get all this other stuff?
That's what she said, bro.
Bro?
Ain't nobody else here L-I. Y'all told me I'm the only one that heard L-I. Raise your hand if you heard L-I-N-G.
Her last name.
Thank you.
She's just Y-E. That's the whole name. Y-E.
She spelled it.
Talk to her.
Talk to her. See, I'm not bugging. I'm not that high.
Y-E-I-O. Thank you. And you? What's your last name? Ortiz. Oh. Oh, so your first name is Alyssa. making progress. Let me cross out Greek. It's confusing. Anybody else? I mean, who are you?
Last name is Hook, H-O-O-K.
Hook, like Captain Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, here.
When did you sign up for this course?
I believe it was Wednesday.
When?
No, yeah, yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Okay. H-O-O-K. You got a first name?
Jennifer, Jennifer.
I'm good with Jennifer. I can do that one. Can't do some of the other ones. Jennifer, but it's easy. What do you think? E is that easy?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Everybody's been accounted for now? That's good. So we just have it. All right. Okay. As I said before, the first chapter has some concepts and some definitions that we need to get through. And again, this is like a foreign language class. Some of the words are multi-definitional, so to speak. And you have to be able to understand the nuances. What's a nuance? Sorry? That's funny. Nuance, I like that. Nuances are sort of like shades of gray, not the kind that you look at in movies. You know, 50 Shades of. But it's just sort of like. So they have different contexts, differences, so to speak. So, did anybody have a difficult time getting the book? See, we operate differently. I mean, when I was a student, you ran out to the bookstore and you got the book before the course started. So you read the material or read some material before the course started, so you knew what was going on when you got to class. But a lot of students don't do that now. However, since this is our second class, I assume that you waited until the course started. Which, since this is the second class, and since you already got your syllabus, you're all prepared. Because you wouldn't want to come in here unprepared, because the professor expects students to fulfill their obligation, which is preparing the class. If you go for classes without getting definitions down, if you come here and this is the first time you hear a word and you try to understand it, and you go to the next class and we add more words, you will probably never ever get caught up. We call this a recipe for disaster. Now, I have no idea what stimulates people to progress. If you are a product of a New York City high school and you've been socially promoted, you probably have adopted the philosophy of Woody Allen. Who's Woody Allen? Woody Allen is an old comedian who I never liked to begin with because he was stupid, and I never liked him after he married his stepdaughter. He after he got in trouble trying to have sex with her. But one of his famous quotes was, he said that for most people, life, 90% of life is just showing up. And I didn't think it was very funny, but I realized that a lot of the people that I run into, it seems to be their philosophy. In other words, that's what life is. You just show up and you expect things just to happen. So if you went to a New York City high school, you just showed up every day, and at the end of 12th grade, they gave you a diploma. So we have a lot of people here who, the average Queensboro freshman comes here with a 7th grade reading level. Not the 8th grade, not the 9th grade, not the 10th grade, not the 11th grade, not the 12th grade. So they're 5 years behind vocabulary when they show up here. At Queensboro, we start with a 12th grade reading level. Of course, I don't. I mean, I've got 4 college degrees, so I use words that even are even beyond the 12th grade. So if you've got a 7th grade reading level, sometimes I use words you may not understand. The average Queensboro student has a 5th grade math level. So when a student asks me how to figure out their average, and I say it's an equally weighted average of your lecture and lab grades. And they say, well, how do you figure that out? And I say, well, that should be easy to do with a 5th grade math level. I can't do it. So I sit here and say, what are we supposed to do? Well, should you get depressed? Maybe. Should you let that depression overwhelm you? No. The only thing that's important is today and tomorrow. Yesterday's yesterday. So what you have to do is grit your teeth and say, you know what? I can't stay in this semi-depressive situation because I got to get on with my life. I got to get rid of my stupid friends. I got to get rid of my stupid boyfriend. I got to surround myself with smarter people because smarter people are going to make me smarter. So if I hang around with stupid people, I'm just going to get stupider. So I'm going to have to talk to smart people. I'm going to have to read my assignments because that's going to make me smarter. I'm going to have to ask my professors questions because I think my professors are probably going to be smarter than my stupid friends. And the more I read my book and the more I talk to my smart professors, the smarter I'm going to get. And the smarter I get, the greater the opportunity I'm going to have a nice, productive life. I have an opportunity. I'm in college. I can laugh, I can have fun, and I can get smart. Because while showing up for high school got me a high school diploma, nobody gives a crap about your high school diploma. The only thing a boss cares about is you know some shit. Because you showed up here with a high school diploma, but if you don't know some shit, it doesn't mean anything to me. We don't give out diplomas in college unless you know some shit. In other words, you show up here, that's fine. If we gave diplomas out for showing up, these desks would have PhDs. I've been here 35 years. These desks have been here longer than I have. So, we're here to help you. But when I say you have an assignment to do, you have an assignment to do. When I tell you that 2/3 of the people who start college never finish, well, those are people who actually came here who know some stuff. And they just never got caught up with stuff. We have a bigger problem here at community colleges because a lot of you show up with a lot more problems than other places. So, we want to get serious, right? We can play and have fun. However, we got to get serious sometimes. What do you think, E?
I agree.
You serious?
Yeah.
I'm serious. We don't want to get too thin-skinned, do we? We don't want to talk about your cardiovascular system.
Girls, come and
I'm on a diet. I got 20 pounds to lose. I just lost 40 pounds.
What works for you though?
Huh?
What works for you? What does your diet consist on?
I don't eat more than 1,000 calories a day. I keep a little pad, and when I eat something, I write down the calories. So I lost 40 pounds from Thanksgiving. See, we men, we can lose weight fast because we're used to doing this. In high school, I played football, I ran track, I wrestled. And we're used to putting on 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds, and we have to lose it. When I played football, I put on lots of weight. When I wrestled, I had to lose like 20, 30 pounds, and so I'm used to losing a pound a day if I have to. But I'm 75 years old now, so when I went to the doctor in October, and he said, "Oh shit, you're 275, Barbara." And I said, "Oh shit, my weight, normal weight's 200." So I said, I'll start losing weight. And Thanksgiving came and said, "Holy shit, I only lost 5 pounds. I'm like 267." I said, "Screw that." So I said, got my pen out. I said, 1,000. I calculated my basal metabolic rate. I was doing my calories. I took my activity level. I said, I need 2,800, 2,900 calories to maintain my body weight now. I said, I'll consume only 1,000 calories a day. That'll leave me 1,800 calories for my body stuff there. I said, I will not eat carbohydrates. That'll change me from glucolytic metabolism to glycolytic metabolism. I won't eat any carbs, so then I'll burn things up glycolytically, which means my body will then be forced to burn up fats. Then I'll go get some Atkins, those snack bars. They have no carbohydrates in them. So I just started eating 1,000 calories a day. I ate tuna and water, salmon, those Atkins bars, and eggs. And keto-friendly vegetables, broccoli, mushrooms, asparagus, and that's it. When I got up to 1,000 calories, I stopped losing. So every day I have a little pad, and I'm losing half a pound a day. So I've lost 40 pounds, and I just keep eating this. So at the end of February, I'll be 20 pounds lighter. I'll be at 200 pounds. I've lost 40 pounds, 20 pounds lighter. It's called focusing. If you want to do something, you do it. In high school, you understand, I graduated in the upper half of my class by one person. I wasn't the brightest bulb in the pack. I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. I used to get on the ground and kiss the ground to get C's sometimes. I got a PhD. I'm not smart. I go to work twice as hard as my brother because I'm a slow learner. But my mother said, I have faith in you. You're going to get through it. My brother said, you're going to flunk out of college.
Yes, sir. What happened in the 20th?
And then he said, if you don't study, you're going to go to Vietnam. I said, shit, I'm going to Vietnam. It's hot over there.
You told us the story on Tuesday.
Yeah, well, that's the bottom line.
Okay, now let's go back.
So do it. So do your crap. Do your assignment. When I told you the story, good. Now you do it. I do this crap. I'm 75 years old. If I can do this shit, you can do it.
Facts.
Holy crap. All right. Let's do it.
Okay, what's new?
I commute here 200 miles a day.
You do? From where?
I live in Pennsylvania.
How is it over there?
What?
How is it over there?
Cold. I come out of my house every day. I have to look this way and look that way because there may be bears around my house. I live in the forest. There's bears, black bears. Drive 100 miles here, 100 miles home.
It's a nice trip, isn't it?
What?
It's a nice trip, isn't it?
Trip?
I mean, the
That's a
tent
nice
also
trip.
is.
Bottom line, you guys whine and whine and whine and whine. Just do it.
We're not winning. We're not even doing.
What do you mean? You whined about your cardiovascular system.
Why is it genetic?
Oh, whine. Just do it.
Do it.
That's what Yoda said. The Star Wars guy. It says, what is it? I'll bring a poster. It says, there is no try, there's just do.
Isn't it nice?
There is no try, there's just do. All right, let's get our books out if you know. Ready?
Yes.
I love it. Okay.
7 minutes for doing what?
What?
We have 7 minutes left.
7 minutes is good. That's all we need. That's what's health? E.
Health is a dynamic state or condition of the human organism with a multi-dimensional.
Explain it to me.
Health is.
Are you healthy?
Yes,
How do you know you're healthy?
because my body is.
You're what?
My body is in homeostasis.
Is that what that says?
You said explain it to you.
Is that what that says? Are you explaining it to me?
You said I read it to you. You said explain it to you.
Well, you see, when you get your book, and you see, and that's written in your book, you have to think about it. So if this is in your book, and you had your assignment, and you read that in your book, you'd have to stop and think about it. You can't sit here right now and sit here and say, yeah, my body's in homeostasis. Is that what that says? Is that what that says? Interesting. I'm a biologist. I'm hardcore homeostatically trained. And to a biologist or to a doctor, you say, well, okay, if you're in homeostasis, you're healthy to what? But is that what we mean in public health? Interesting. Our book tells us that, well, health means different things to different people and in different contexts. So this is a summation of the World Health Organization's concept. This is a holistic definition, isn't it? It's a holistic definition.
I hope you keep in mind all the information you share with us when it comes down to the test, okay?
Sorry?
I hope you keep in mind all this beautiful information you're sharing with us when it comes down to the test later on. You know, like how many miles you drive from home here, will that be in the test?
You know what? We're going to read through this, and I'm going to go over every word, and we're going to hold you responsible for every word, okay? Will that make you feel better?
Yeah.
Good. You have laid the groundwork. That's fine. Not a problem. Okay. So, on page 3, the word health means different things to different people. Some basic terms will be used in this book to define the following paragraphs. So, on page 4, now we're getting into this. World Health Organization, 1946. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease and infirmity. Health is a resource for everyday life, not an object of living. A positive concept emphasizing social, personal resources as well as physical living, and a positive concept for emphasizing social, personal resources as well as physical living capabilities. Others have stated that health cannot be defined as a status. It is ever changing. Therefore, we have chosen to define health as a dynamic state or condition of the human organism, multi-dimensional. Well, if you have your book, it's right here. You're required to have this book. You see what I do? I underline things too. I do it in different colors because there are different emphases. So when I talk about something, I can refer you to a specific chapter and verse, so to speak. Because it's important. We have to tease out and define specific concepts. There are 5 domains to the definition of health. Those are described in figure 1.1. Those 5 domains include gestational endowments. What is gestation? Well, when you women have babies, the baby has to develop for 9 months. That's the gestational period. So gestational endowments are things you're born with. Your genes. What are genes? They're places on chromosomes, aren't they? So your gestational endowments are things that you are born with. You have a strong immune system, a weak immune system. You have a propensity for cancer. Do you have the BRCA gene? Will you get cancer? Do you have a propensity for allergies? What are your genetic endowments? What are your social circumstances? What's your education? Better educated people have fewer diseases. What's your housing like? Do you live in a house that is prone toward leaks and other kinds of things? Or is there lead paint in the walls? That will make you prone toward illness. That'll affect your health. What about employment? That is to say, does your family make money? What are the social circumstances? Is there crime in your neighborhood? What are the social circumstances? What about the environmental conditions? Do you live in an environment where there's toxic material? Was your house built over a toxic waste dump? Are there poor housing conditions around? What about behavioral choices? Do you do drugs? What is your diet like? Do you eat good foods, poor foods? What about your physical activity? Do you get exercise? What about medical care? Do you have a health plan? Do you go to the doctor at all? Do you get involved in primary, secondary, or tertiary health care? So there are 5 domains that affect your personal health.
Does race also come in?
Sorry?
Race? Your
Race?
race?
Well, that factors into your genetic endowment. Do individual races have different medical issues?
Yeah.
Well, yes and no. It depends where your race develops. That is to say, some races are more finely tuned to certain environments than others. And everybody's perfectly healthy here, but if you translocate people, sometimes there are minor adjustments. They're not major, they're minor adjustments that seem to, that is to say, some races seem to have chronic issues with hypertension. Not here, but over here, because their biochemistry is finely attuned to this, and over here we have to be more careful because they're more sensitive to salt or something over here, not so much over there. Bottom line is, we're talking about your health and definition of your health in a particular context. Is community or public health concerned with your individual health? Yes and no. Public health or community health is population health. The concept is community or population health, if it's done right, affects your individual health. So this is how this works here. We are not going to be able to transmit information to you, or you, or you, meaningfully, if you haven't read this before you come in here. I can sit here and talk, but it means nothing to you if you haven't read this. I believe in the Socratic method of education. You know who developed the Socratic method of education? Socrates. You know what that requires? A dialogue. You know what a dialogue means? I talk, you respond. So if I talk to you about this and you can't respond to me, nothing happens. So starting on Tuesday, we're going to have the Socratic method. You're going to have the book. We're going to have a dialogue. If you can't respond to me, I make little marks on it. You have to be engaged in the process. Your success in this course is going to be partially associated with your ability to be engaged in the process. It's easy to do. When you are engaged in the process, you will learn. You will become smarter. Your success in college is going to be associated with your ability to critically think. It will be fun if we do it right. Have a good weekend, guys. Okay, Caprice from us.
I'm sick. But I think we're so good the whole time. I'm scratching my name. You're no longer eating to it's now just
And then for white,
I have coffee. Public health. I'm going all the way down. Bye.